Alright, hopefully this is straight, ready to go. Let's get started. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel once again. My name is Mark Mamboyo, and this is going to be the second episode of the Elevate podcast. The value I want to bring to you guys with the podcast is going to be motivation, self-empowerment, and just simple storytelling. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the second episode. Okay, so second episode of the podcast. What I want to get into today is motivation. I'm going to name a few things that motivate me in this journey that I'm trying to do, right? So currently, if you guys don't already know, I'm a cosmetology student, and it's crazy. It's been a crazy journey. It's currently February 2023. We started back in September of 2022, and we graduate this coming June. And I remember my main focus when I did start the program was just haircutting. If you guys don't know, I'm currently a barber, and that's my main focus. But when I first started the program, there were so many things that we learned at this point, and that's not February. The cosmetology umbrella is so big, and there's so many things that fall under that. The main things are going to be hair, skin, and nails. And it just brings me so much motivation because for my future, for, potential business ventures it's more than just about being a barber. There's salons, there's barbershops, obviously. I can do a nail salon. I can also be an esthetician. And I'm just like, I never thought about those avenues back then, where it's like, now that I'm so deep into the program, it's like, I don't have to just be a barber, or I don't have to just, own a barber business. There's so many other things that I can do with it. And that's definitely one thing that brings me motivation. Another thing that brings me motivation is learning from others. I don't know how am I going to say this to you guys, but because I'm a barber, there's so many conversations that I have with clients that, motivate me to go on to the next level. When people tell me like, oh, they're going to buy a house, or they're going to buy a new car, or they're going on a nice family vacation, that brings me joy, and that brings me motivation, where it's like, my clients can get there, I can also get there as well, and I'm going to make my way to that point. And just for example, there's just a recent client, just yesterday, I had a client that, he comes every so often, and we just, when we do have conversations, it's very in the beginning it was very shallow, very small talk that we would have. But just yesterday, he actually told me, mind you, when I first started cutting him, I think he was just a senior in high school, and maybe he was a freshman or sophomore in college. But now he's currently franchising a business here in the state of New Jersey, and he's kept it on lock for about 2 years. And it's crazy because, I don't really know him that well, but seeing him venture out into this, it just motivates me, because you have so many things to worry about right now. You have college, you have your everyday life, but you still made time to go ahead and franchise a business. And on top of that, he told me that he is one of the youngest, or not if he is actually, he's probably the youngest franchisee in the state of New Jersey. He's 19 years old. And when I heard that story, and he told me, we had to go to the CPA, we had to get this business LLC, and so on and so forth, I was like, you have so much drive to do this, because not every 19-year-old can do this. And I'm just like, yo, you're so young. You have so much ahead of you, and it gives me motivation because obviously I'm not that young, but I'm just so I feel like I feel like I'm late to the game, but I'm still very young. I'm 30. I'm currently 30 years old, and I just feel like there's so much ahead of me in what I have in this future of barbering or cosmetology. And it's crazy to hear his story and hear other stories as well, where it's like, yes, you made it to this point, but seeing that growth from where they were to where they are today, I think that's the number one motivation. Just for example, putting out content. When I first started putting out my barbering content, I was like, I'm just going to put it out. I don't even care what it looks like. Obviously I'm going to try my best to make it look good, to make the video good, or to make the content good. But it's like, compared to where I was before with my whole content on Instagram, and compared to what I'm doing today, I feel like me myself seeing that growth is crazy, because I'm like, that motivates me so much more to put out way better content. Just for example, like this podcast. I know that my first podcast probably wasn't my best, but if I just keep myself accountable and continue to put this content out, that's going to motivate me so much more to bring out so much better content in the future. I might not be the best behind the camera right now. I might not be the best talking, but with time and repetition and practice, I'll get better. And that gives me so much more motivation to put out more and more content and just be on top of all of this and just be on top of my life in general, right? It's just another thing that brings me, honestly, just talking to other people and just hearing their journey brings me so much motivation. Really, it's my clients. I have so many conversations with my clients because I have a private studio right now. So I feel like, yes, at first when I do get a client, it's hard for them to get like a real nice deep talk, like a heart to heart. But with time, obviously, they start to open up. They start to share stories. They start to share experiences. They start to share their life, right? And another client, right? Yeah, we have the one client that's an entrepreneur now. He's, youngest franchisee in New Jersey. Dope. Gives me motivation. Another client I had, and this is his fitness journey. I remember he was like, we're about the same height, like 5'6", 5'7". I think he's like 5'7". And I never even noticed that he was overweight or anything, but he started to get focused with his health, right? He started to get focused with what he was eating, what he was putting inside his body, what if his working out, his schedule, his regimen, his workout regimen. And with time, mind you, this is a 4-year client at this point, and I've seen his journey drop from he was at 205, and he's like 140. He's like chiseled now, and I never really paid attention to him back then with his whole weight, but now when I see him, I'm just like, yo, that motivates me to go back into the gym. And it's like, you know how it is with losing weight and stuff. We always fall off. I mean, for me, it's like I always fall off, and I'm going to take accountability because I do have those months where I'll go ham, I'll go to the gym, I'll work out, I'll eat healthy, and all of a sudden I'll fall off. But the more and more I talk to him and his journey, and obviously I have other clients as well that are on their fitness journey, their health journey, it motivates me to get my stuff together. And be proactive about what I want to do to better myself. That's another thing that brings me motivation. Another thing that brings me motivation is just, honestly, my dad. He might not have graduated college, but seeing him now, I think he's about to be 60. He only ever wanted the best for me and my siblings, and me seeing him, it's like, all I know is he just works. We know like old school, you know, first immigrant parents to come to America, all they know how to do is work. And they just work and grind and just sleepless nights and just deal with all the BS that there is with working. That is like, I don't have it that bad. They probably had it worse than me. And it's like that motivates me because he's 60 and he's still putting 50, 60, 70 hour work weeks. Yeah, he's killing his body, but he's doing it. And he's doing it for all of us. He's doing it for my our family. Yeah, I don't live with him, but, he's still doing it. And he's still grinding to this day. And that also gives me so much motivation. Just seeing my father and, obviously he's my dad. And I've seen him do this for his whole life. And he's like never stopped. And I'm just like, that makes me want to never stop. I never want to stop cutting. I never want to stop working. I just want to just drive and just go full throttle, because that's what I've seen him do for so many years. Right? And another thing, like, it might be shallow, but when I see like social media, Instagram, even simple as TikTok, people's like audience is so small at first, but when they continue, like when they start and they just put that time in and put that work into getting the content out, they get that traction, and that makes that gets them to build their audience. And that's what makes me want to build my audience as well. Yeah, I might not have many subscribers on YouTube, I might not have many followers on TikTok, but if I can see myself and my growth from where I started to what I'm becoming, that motivates me. It's the simplest things like that. It's like on top of the motivation, it's like you gotta have the mindset for it. And yeah, it might sound corny. Yeah, you gotta have your mind right and whatnot. But at the end of the day, if you're not thinking it, then you're not gonna do it. It's just like putting yourself in an uncomfortable position. Doing this. This is uncomfortable as hell. But I'm doing it because I want to get more comfortable. I want to be able to create better content. I want to bring value to you guys. Honestly, it's like I might not know you guys, and you guys might not know me. But if there's like one thing that I can say in the podcast or throughout the podcast that's going to give you some drive and some confidence and perseverance to get onto that next level and grow, then I want to be able to do that for you guys. But yeah, there's so many things that motivate me, to be honest. Even just my girl, my wife. She just recently had a promotion at her job. Obviously we both didn't go to college, and she works in the banking field, but seeing her grow within the company and getting to that next level without like no college degree, but seeing how she has so much drive in her work and just staying focused on all of the tasks that she has at hand, that motivates me to get onto the next level. It really all, it comes from it. I feel like it stems from inside, from what you have in your head, but also your environment. That's another important thing with motivation. I feel like if you're not in the right environment, you're not gonna want to push to the next step. I know you guys heard the expression where if you're in a room full of bums, like you're in a room full of 5 bums, you're the sixth one, who's gonna be that sixth bum? That's gonna be you. But if you surround yourself with like-minded individuals that want to get on to that next chapter in their lives, that next journey, you're going to be that next person that's going to get onto their next journey. I don't have many friends right now that are entrepreneurs, but I do have a few. And, seeing them and their journey, we're all very new in our journeys, but seeing them and how far they've grown, it makes me want to grind and put in the time and put in the work so much harder. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to what do you want? Do you want to grow, or do you want to be a step behind? it's all about growth. It's all about getting to the next level, getting to the next chapter, and growing within. So hopefully you guys got something valuable from this podcast. And if I can say one thing to you guys, it's put yourself in that uncomfortable position, because putting yourself in that position is only going to make you grow from the experience that you're going to have with that position. So with that being said, this is the end of the second episode of the Elevate podcast. Hopefully I brought some free game, some value, and some just some motivation for you guys in your journey, whether that be with work, whether that be with your fitness journey, just life in general. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are just getting started with this podcast, so I really would appreciate it. Leave some comments down, like the content, and hopefully I see you guys on the next one. This is Mark Mamboyo with the Elevate podcast. Peace.